the Remain in Mexico plan, that's being reinstated, but it seems the federal government's kind of slow walking it. Is there a message now that the U.S. border is still open, right?
Well, good morning. Great to be with you, Ed, and Happy New Year. So, of course, what we saw in 2021, complete disregard from the federal government to take any action to secure the border. We saw so many events that took place in 2021, and there was a complete neglect on their part to safeguard Americans, to safeguard the border. And that's why we continue seeing the influx of illegal immigrants coming across. The numbers have not slowed down by any means. The numbers continue to escalate, and we anticipate going into 2022, the numbers are really going to increase even more historically compared to 2021. Right. So again, the federal government needs to take action. They need to listen to the Americans, the citizens that are along the border, listen to the ranchers, and also work with the governors, work with the border states, Texas, Arizona, and help them and give them the support they need. But also, most importantly, is to support the federal agents that are out there on the field, which they have turned them into processing agents now. So they need more manpower, they need the technology, and they need the infrastructure.
Right. So, and Texas has stepped up. You talk about the personnel down there. Texas stepped up in a way the federal government has not. Your state troopers have pitched in with other Texas agencies, but it's still not enough, right?
Right. So, 2021, we deployed over 1,000 Texas DPS personnel as well as National Guard to the southern border. We deployed so many state resources, state funding to secure the border. And of course, in December, with Governor Greg Abbott just launched the deployment and also the construction of the Texas border wall. First ever in Texas history, first ever, I believe, in U.S. history to actually construct its own border wall. So again, we're taking those proactive measures. But one thing I can tell you, though, that's very challenging is some of those areas, some of those land is federal property. So we cannot take any type of enforcement action. We can't construct any barriers or any type of border wall because the federal government won't allow it. So they need to step in now, going to 2022, fulfill their agreement to follow through with the Remain in Mexico policy, begin construction of the border wall, help the federal resources, the federal partners, and also work with the governors, work with Governor Abbott, work with the Arizona governor, and give them what they need. They need the support, they need the funding. This is not a responsibility of the states. This falls on the federal government to take action.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 1,000 troopers that have been redeployed. That takes them off other areas, other duties that they were doing around the state of Texas for the citizens of Texas.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So we're bringing in resources from other parts of the state to work at the southern border because of the current border crisis. So again, it does leave very minimal manpower in those communities where they need to be there to also safeguard their communities as well. But right now, because of what's taking place and because there is no help or no support from the federal government, our Texas state troopers, as well as National Guard, Texas Parks and Wildlife, all the state resources, state assets are now at the southern border fulfilling this challenge.